Yo, what is up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here on Tuesday, October 17th. Y'all see who I got with me, man. I got Costi, I got David, and we're just here to talk talks what happened this weekend in the NFL and whatever's on these guys' mind, man. I'm glad to be back with my guys late afternoon. And we're gonna give you guys some early looks for the coming up week. And we're going to try to dissect some of this game and help you guys become overall smarter bettors and overall sports talk. So, David, man, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm great. My Lions are tied for the best record in the NFL. So, I mean, things couldn't be better over here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. My boys, the king of the bounce back. They got it done last night in prime time. Always glad to see. Since Mike McCarthy has taken over as head coach, this team has not lost 2 games in a row since 2020. So
that's crazy. That's
a
crazy stat.
Yeah, they're just the king of the bounce back. Whenever they lose, they just bounce back.
You were ready to just completely jump off the bandwagon there. I'm glad you're getting back on.
The thing is I now have the right expectations. Coming into the year, I legitimately thought we could win the Super Bowl. Now, I think that the goal is to make it to the NFC Championship game. I thought that was the floor coming into the year. Like, we had to be there or the season was a failure. I now know this team is not as good as I thought they were, but I don't think anybody's as good as we think they are. And it's going to be a wide open NFC. Your team in the mix, the Eagles. We saw the Niners kind of get banged up, return to reality. It's going to be an interesting season. So I'm not all the way back on, but I
don't know. I just feel like Dallas could, they're still a very solid team, right? And I think it's way too early to say it couldn't be a Super Bowl. So many things could happen. Injuries. Look at the 49ers. They got guys dropping left and right. So, you get the right matchups come playoff time. You never know.
Never know. Mike, what's up, my man?
What's up, man? We're me and Dave now. We used to be, when the Orioles got swept, we had a little rivalry going on. It didn't last too long, obviously, but Dave and myself have a little rivalry as the Lions come into the bank this upcoming Sunday, which should be exciting. The Ravens uniquely didn't take a bye after a London game. They just wanted to ride it through. So it's exciting, man. It's a great time of the year. I mean, I always say in the NFL, if you're not getting sharp action down and you're not doing your homework, you're going to get slaughtered. And you saw that this past week. So many dogs covered. Dogs won outright. I mean, it was a wild weekend, but that's what I expect. I mean, did I predict that the Jets were going to win outright? No, but that's what the NFL does to you, is you just don't know situationally, how it's going to play out. I mean, the Jets game, to be, to do a little rundown from that, it's, no Sauce Gardner. You're thinking that they're going to be able to pass at will.
That kept me off the game. I love the Jets all week, but with no Sauce, no DJ Reed down the top 2 corners, but
and they have guys come in from the practice squad. The one guy makes, I forgot his name, gets the final interception of the game, literally just got activated from the practice squad. So from a recreational betting standpoint, it is literally a gauntlet. So if you're not getting sharp information, you're not actually buying from the handicappers on Pickdawgz that are incredible. Their records are posted every single day. You're going to get slaughtered. So if you're a recreational guy trying to go, I wouldn't go into a week blindly trying to pick games. That's how you'll get your account down to 0 very, very quickly. So it's fun, though. This is the time of the year where it gets colder and the games get a lot tougher. And those, unless you're bringing your A game every single week in the NFL, anybody could lose.
Any given Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
No more undefeated teams. Niners and Philly both go down. Which one, David, I'm going to ask you first. Which loss was more surprising, the Niners loss or the Eagles loss?
I would say I'm going to go with the 49ers just because, especially going up against a backup quarterback, and losing the way they did. I did not see that one coming. I mean, Philly was they were both a shock. I mean, let's be honest. But I just think that 49ers loss, I mean, the way that they lost it, they played pretty sloppy in that game. So that was surprising to see them play like that.
What about you, Costi? Niners?
I think it's the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles had more. They didn't lose because of injuries. You saw a game where they had everybody offensively. They didn't lose anybody. They just had bad turnovers, and the Jets just beat them at their own game, the gritty game. And when they had a chance, they just literally iced the game at the end. He throws a interception, which is you just can't do that in the NFL, especially when you're running out the clock. So, I mean, the Jets didn't do anything crazy to win that game. They just did enough to keep in it. And whereas the 49ers, I mean, you saw the writing on the wall. As soon as McCaffrey goes out and Debo goes out, now Purdy becomes mortal, and he's not the quarterback that I always say this. Purdy on any other team would not be this good. He is just a great Shanahan system quarterback where he runs that offense very well. But if he doesn't have the pieces around him, it's going to be tough for him to create. I mean, Kittle literally went from having the best game in many years last week to having 1 yard this past week. And it's much easier to get open when you have a running back and an offensive line that's getting 6-7 yards per carry. It's very easy to have the defense on their heels versus when McCaffrey's out. Now they don't have to factor that in as a big play factor, and they could actually, have their pass coverages set, and they're not as worried about the run game. And it showed where he couldn't really create without those, those weapons. So that's why, I mean, from an early line standpoint, I had already taken Minnesota this week. I love them getting 7 at home on Monday Night Football. Both those guys are not going to play. It's going to be tough for San Fran to overcome that big of a talent shift from McCaffrey and Debo, because they're pretty much both ruled out already.
Yeah, and another huge guy for them, Trent Williams, also banged up.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's the best.
He is. He literally is. I've never seen anybody stop Micah Parsons quite like he does. So, it's amazing. If I had to say which one was more surprising to me, I would probably go the Niners. The reason I go the Niners is because the Browns offensive, I knew defensively the Browns were really good, but offensively with PJ Walker to still move the ball the way they did was kind of surprising, because I thought the Niners defense was right up there too, like supposed to be one of the best in the league. And even when their offense looked mortal, you would think their defense is enough to carry them, especially against a backup quarterback and a team missing their top rushing back in Nick Chubb. But they did not. The Jets, they're kind of surprising. I've seen the Jets play well. I'm starting to become a secret, like, Jets are like one of my teams I'm going to start backing, because I like their makeup. I do. And Zach Wilson's starting to play a little better. We've seen them upset the Bills, now I got the Eagles upset. They might still be able to sneak in the playoffs. I had the Jets winning that division before the Aaron Rodgers injury. And it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers. I think that the overall team of that Jets was pretty good. If Zach Wilson can do enough, they might be able to do a little something in there in New York. I don't know. It's a weird season.
I'm the same way. I'm starting to become a low-key Jets fan here. I like watching. Zach Wilson has always struggled, but I kind of like seeing him have success, a little bit of success. And you see him smiling on the sideline instead of just pouting like he normally does. So it's good to see. But what you guys are saying makes total sense. When you factor in the injuries for San Francisco, I was just going off like going into the game, assuming those guys were healthy. But yeah, when you take into effect the injuries, and if we knew those injuries going in, I would say the Eagles were the more surprising. But yeah, obviously injuries throughout a game change a ton, and I'm with you. I think they're going to have a hard time this week without those two key offensive players.
The line in that one is currently Niners -7. The Vikings pretty banged up as well. This is Monday Night Football. arguably top 3 receiver in the league, and Justin Jefferson, some people's number 1. He's still out. They got it done against Chicago this past week. One in coverage.
Doesn't say much.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Does it really say much? Because the Bears have lost 17 of their last 18 games. So.
And they struggled doing it. They were in position there to potentially give up a game-winning drive against a backup QB.
So, all right, let me ask you guys this question. Say the Niners were healthy, what would this line be? Say Williams, Debo, and McCaffrey were healthy, what would the line be?
10.5.
Are the Vikings also healthy or no?
No. Say Justin Jefferson's not healthy because he's gone for a good.
Yeah, that 10.5, 11 number, I think's right there.
So are those 3 guys worth 4.5 points? Is really the $1 million question. Because I think that we all can agree the Niners are still the better team, but at 7, Kirk Cousins in that offense has moved the football. We just saw a backup quarterback move the football on the Niners. Can Kirk Cousins and company do enough to keep that within the number? I would want 7.5. I would want the hook. If I got the hook later on in the week, I would take the Vikings at 7. I don't know. It's tough. Really tough.
I don't know. This Minnesota team, even with Jefferson, they were struggling, and I know I don't trust them, to be honest. The Vikings have not impressed me at all. When you look at who they've played, who they've lost to, and even in their wins, not impressive. So I would need more points than that to back Minnesota.
The Niners are one of top 3 team last 3 seasons ATS. The top 3 teams ATS last 3 seasons: 1, the Detroit Lions; 2, the 49ers; 3, the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the 3 most profitable teams the last 3 seasons in the NFL ATS. All right. Well, we can't not talk about you guys matchup, Lions Ravens. We can't not talk about it. The Lions sitting at 5-1. Man, a win in Arrowhead on their resume. A really nice win this past week on the road. A lot of people love Tampa this past week as a possible upset, and the Lions just did what they have done. I will say the last 3 weeks, what has surprised me most about this Lions team, I think the offense is doing exactly what I thought they would do, but defensively is where I think the Lions have kind of improved. Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute monster. I think I saw a stat. He has more interceptions than most DBs, than all DBs, or something like that. It's like something crazy. This game, the Lions are banged up. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. I'll go to Costi first, and I'll swing back to you, David.
So I'll give the Ravens report, and then Dave can give the Lions report. And we'll see. You can make the decision on who you would take in this matchup. The Ravens at home traditionally have been much better than playing on the road, but we've lost to the Colts at home, which was a very tough loss considering that we gave that away, backup quarterback, and we literally just shot ourselves in the foot. For whatever reason, the coaching in the first half has been exceptional, and then we just don't make good adjustments at halftime, and we struggle in the second half on offense. But again, had a lot of injuries. Marcus Williams, after getting roasted 2 weeks ago in Pittsburgh, finally got his sea legs back and was playing really well. Outside of the 2 big Derrick Henry runs, they played exceptional defense. Marlon Humphrey, same thing. Now he got a week under his belt. Played really well. Our corners now are the starting corners we should have had from the beginning of the season. Our safeties are good. Linebackers are obviously, with Queen and Roquan, are flying all over the field. And surprisingly, Kyle Van Noy, coming off the practice squad, got signed from the Jeff McAfee show right to our team. and has played well. Him and Clowney have been showing up. So our defense has the talent. I think the loss of Montgomery and potentially Gibbs not being there is, without a running game, Goff can't throw 40, 50 times a game and be successful. So I think that is going to be the caveat of this weekend, where without those two guys, I think is a big difference for the Lions to put points on the board. So with that being said, the offense is clicking a little bit better. I think we're still very new in the Moncton first year offensive coordinating offense, where Lamar's still figuring it out, but Lamar is Lamar, and he makes good plays, and he's due for an interception just the way he plays, but he also creates when nothing's out there, and he gets you those yards. So we came off the game with no injuries. That is the key.
That's very
for the Ravens for years.
Yes.
So Odell didn't get hurt again. Zay Flowers didn't drop 4 balls like he did 3 weeks ago, and Andrews is healthy. So with all that being said, I mean, it's looks like a Ravens, laying the 3 is a solid spread. I think it's going to actually go to 3.5, 4 by game time, just because I could see a lot of the public betting the Ravens with the injuries on the Lions. But we play up to our competition, so I'm comfortable betting on them as a short favorite when they are playing good teams. But when they play crappy teams, they usually play down to their competition, and they either don't cover or they lose outright. So, but it's the NFL. I don't know. I'm excited for this game. It's one of the big highlight outside of the Eagles and the Dolphins game. It's definitely one of those key matchups with two teams that are going to be there, in the playoffs this year.
I agree with that. Let me ask you one. Are you nervous about them coming back from London? We've seen some teams come back and kind of feel those effects. Buffalo came back this week, and they didn't look good. But we also seen Jacksonville come back and didn't skip a beat. So, do you think there's any validity to coming back from London? Not usually, like you said at the top of the show, they usually have a bye week following London. No bye week. Do you buy any of that?
I don't think so. I think it's, if you're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast the day before, yeah, you're going to get that, you're going to get that jet lag. But the fact that they have a whole week to settle in, I mean, they're professional athletes. They have a whole week to settle in at home. They're not flying from London to a road game. They're sleeping back in their beds, getting on the same routine, going to the same, the facility. So I think they're going to have enough time to recover for a home game. For a road game, yeah, I think there is going to be some overlay, and it could present an issue. But with a home game, I think they're going to be fine. Again, they're healthy. They're not coming off beat up from that game, which is a huge surplus. So I like their chances. I mean, again, it's any given Sunday, but if you ask me while we're doing the show on a Tuesday, laying that 3 and not, having the hook to worry about them winning by 3 and you losing, it's going to be a close game no matter what. I think the Lions have a great franchise, so it's definitely one of the key matchups for this upcoming week.
I agree. Mr. Racy, Mr. David, what are your thoughts here on this? Like Akasi said, huge matchup this week.
Yeah, I agree on a lot of his points. Detroit, I wish we could have this matchup with both teams relatively healthy. I mean, you'll never be 100% healthy, or at least very rarely. But Detroit's missing so many pieces. When you look at the running backs, Gibbs, Montgomery's pretty much out. Gibbs is questionable. And if he's not in, Craig Reynolds is leading the way. And Reynolds, while he did have that huge block on that St. Brown touchdown, rushing-wise last week, didn't do much. I will say if Goff has to throw a lot, we saw last week against Tampa, he threw 44 times, completed 30 of those, threw for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns against a Tampa Bay defense that isn't terrible. So, I mean, he might be able to will them and drag them along. But I also think Detroit's due for they've played great in just about every game. They're due for a stinker. And I think this is an opportunity for that, right? They're coming off of a road game. They're going back on the road. They're banged up. The secondary is really banged up. So I could see Lamar throwing that thing all around the field. And with no running game or potentially no running game, it could get ugly. I mean, I do agree. Like I said, I think Goff could, throw 40, 50 times and be successful, but the chances of that against that defense are probably not there, So I'd have to side with the Ravens on this one because of the injuries. If Detroit was healthy, I think they'd have a much better chance. And then my last point is Detroit in their road games this year, every road game for that matter, you go to Kansas City, Green Bay, and Tampa, they've really been able to get a lot of fans in there on all those games. I just don't see that happening here either. So it'll be a more hostile environment that they haven't seen this season, which will only, make it more difficult.
There you go. There you go. I would probably agree with these three guys, man. I will say fading the Lions is not for the weak-hearted. Like I said, the most profitable team in the last 3 years. And I was trying to ride the wave at the beginning of the year that, last year they was doing a lot of it as underdogs, laying points this year. Maybe they don't have that same success, but they have. They've been a moneymaker. They've been a solid football team. I think we're going to learn a lot about them this week, but I think the Ravens addressed a lot of the problems that they had prior to the week before. They addressed the drops. And I still don't think we've seen the best from the Ravens. I still don't think we've seen the Ravens necessarily put it all the way together and be like, damn, that's the Ravens who, can dominate and really do something. I think we've seen flashes of that from Detroit where it's like, okay, Detroit is for real. They're going to make the postseason. Can they? How far can Detroit take this? I think for the Ravens, we haven't really seen it yet. This is probably going to be that week. I'm going to lean Ravens in this one as well. 3 is not the most sexiest number to me. It's not. I could see it falling right on there. So I got to watch this line throughout the week. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if it fell to 2.5 for a second because I could see people betting the Lions as a dog. I could see it.
I know it's crazy. People are loving the Lions, and I'm 30 and I haven't seen that in my whole life. So the Lions getting money as a favorite is just like or an underdog, or it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, so
you guys are young bucks. You guys weren't around for the Barry Sanders days.
Nope. I hear about it though.
I'm 40, so I saw a little bit of it. I remember when I first started doing fantasy football when I was 15, 16, and he was just like a cheat code back then. It was incredible.
That's crazy.
Imagine having Barry Sanders as your running back. That'd be good.
On that turf too. It was really fun to watch. It was the first NFL player that actually bought his shoes and wear out because they weren't cleats. They were the turf shoes, but that dates me back a little bit. But, the Lions are a fantastic team. In the NFL, it's just like boxing. As long as you fight and you beat the teams in your weight class, you're going to win. And you just got to pick off 1 or 2 of the heavy hitters, which they did with Kansas City. And you're going to get there. You're going to win 10, 11 games. You're going to make the playoffs. So obviously you just got to stay healthy and be that team in December that you were in September. Because right now, everybody's facing injuries, man. It's just, with the Ravens, we're in a tough division. You would think that, a couple weeks ago, the Browns looked beatable and people were, embarrassing them, and the Bengals with nobody knew if Burrow was going to get hurt, and the Steelers with Pickett, a couple games, you look terrible. I remember the Vegas game. And then now we look at it and you say, look, the Steelers could really beat up on anybody. The Bengals look really good. The Browns just beat San Fran and they look so. This is the AFC North every year for us. It's just a slaughterhouse of week to week. These teams show up, and when we have to play them twice a year, it's by the time we get to the playoffs, we're usually 2 beat up and 2 injured, and it's tough. But that's the tradition around here, and that's why talking this sport is just so much fun. And at the end, when we make money, makes it even more fun.
Definitely. Well, I guess we can go ahead and start winding down the show. I appreciate everybody that's in the comments that joined us today. Smash that like button for all of us. David, what do you have for sale today? And what does your NFL or what does your week as a whole look like this week here at Pickdawgz?
Yeah, I have a play tonight in one of the 3 college football games. I love that we get Conference USA middle of the week now. It's amazing. It's not the best football to watch, but it's football. We'll take it. Then I have a 3-pack in the NHL. I've started out hot in hockey, so looking to keep that going. And then through the week, I'll have a few college football games scattered out. And then going into the weekend, obviously Saturday, big college football day, and then the NFL. I'll have a few plays in the NFL, depending on the primetime games this week, at least early for me, have been tough to get a side on. So we'll see on those. But if I stay hot on hockey, I'll probably focus a little more on hockey, right? Stay where you're hot.
Yep. Hey, I hear you. For me, those midweek college football games been kicking my ass. And baseball been treating me extremely well. And the NFL, I'm profitable right now, but I still want to do better than what I've done. I think I'm up maybe 2 units or something like that. So, gotta hit the stride. I'm up, so I'm up, but I want to hit that nice stride I know I can hit. So, tonight I have I got a money-making 3-pack, guys. If you guys want to hop on that, I have a play in Major League Baseball, my $19 postseason play of the day. I'm 7-1 since the postseason has started on that play. You can scoop that up. I got a college football midweek play. I've been getting my ass kicked. Hopefully tonight we bounce back. And then I got an NBA preseason play. I cannot wait for the NBA to be back, man. So if you guys,
7 days.
7 days. 7 days. I'm watching it every night. So, $19. If you guys want to hop on that NBA play, you can hop on it with me. We can try to make a few dollars. That's what I got going on. Costi, I know you don't got nothing going on at Pickdawgz Premium, but I know Sharp Trading Plays has a lot going on. Talk to him. What you got?
Well, so Eric and myself run 2 different channels. They're both delivered to you on Telegram. We only take on high rollers that want to treat their betting as a business. If somebody's more of a day-to-day grinder, Dave's amazing. I follow his games on Premium. You're really good. I mean, if you're just a guy that's just looking for tonight's scoop, go to the individual handicappers. You'll definitely make money. But if you have more of a long-term approach where you're trying to bet games early in the week, get the best of the number, be coached every day, because I communicate with my clients daily on telling them whether to play the game at the right price. If their price is different, I tell them to pass. So it's really for somebody to build wealth long-term. And if you want early releases, that's Sharp Trading. If you're looking for syndicates that are moving on the game an hour and a half before game time, that's Eric at Dime Club. So we have a best of both worlds. And listen, we've cashed every single week so far this season. So it's very exciting, especially the NBA is starting. We have a lot of sharps in our corner that are feeding us games. And now, instead of the weekend volume, you're going to get 7 days a week of high volume, low volatility trading, where instead of trading stocks, we just trade sports. So head on over to Pickdawgz, click the premium picks tab. You'll see Sharp Trading Plays or Dime Club. Shoot me a text directly or fill out your form just with your name and information, and I'll text you back within a couple hours, usually.
There you go.
Unless I'm on live shows with Jay.
Hey, I'll be trying to peel out information out of them for free, man. But you can definitely hop on, man. It's worth it, like you said, profitable every week thus far. Again, I appreciate both of you guys joining me today. I appreciate everybody in the comments.
Hey, Jay, real quick. Where are my Pistons going to finish in the East this year?
I think I like the Pistons. It really depends on how healthy Cade Cunningham is. Is really what is what it comes down to. Probably still 1 year away. I say 12. I say 12 in the East this year.
Just fighting to get into the play-in.
I think you guys can fight to get in, but I think when it's all said and done, you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you before I go. Up 2-0.
I thought for sure Houston would win last night. I didn't love Framber going, but I just thought they're not going to go down 0-2, and they did. And now Texas is going to roll this thing. They're going to win at least one of two at home, and they're going to the World Series. I'm calling it now. facing Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a wagon right now. So it'll be if that happens, it'll be a great series. But yeah, I'm thinking me being as a bandwagon Rangers fan this postseason, I'm all in. We're going to the World Series.
There you go. Hey, I give David some credit for being a bandwagon. He jumped on before. So
it was early in the year. When my Tigers started to fade, and I was like, all right, I got to find my postseason team here.
It was. So he's an honorary Rangers fan. You know, there's some bandwagons out there y'all can't join, but David, he was on early enough. He can join.
I will say it's not a great look because last hockey season, I jumped on Rod's Edmonton Oilers team, and that didn't end well for them. So hopefully I bring better luck to the Rangers.
Definitely up 2-0, and the next 3 are at home. So we'll see.
Oh, that's right. They do that. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, the format is weird in baseball. I like the NBA's format 2-2-1-1-1. Baseball
until the finals. They switch it in the finals of the NBA.
No, it's just, that's it all the way through.
I think they used to do it in the NBA like that.
Yeah.
I remember they used to just switch it for the finals for 2-3-2.
Yeah. Now the whole way through it's now 2-2-1-1-1. I think that's the best format. Baseball has it 2-3-2.
Well, now, Texas might not even have to make another trip back to Houston. That would be huge.
It would. So I'm loving baseball right now. I'm like a kid in a candy store. We've never won one. So if we win it, I'm going to go crazy. But anything else from you guys before we get out of here?
Nothing from me.
That's it. Love all the comments. Everybody's commenting, giving us some good feedback. So like I said, guys, don't sit on the sidelines. Go buy a daily package from Dave. But if you're trying to treat it like a business, hit me up. Definitely get you on the right plan before NBA starts. That's when we're going to go wild.
There you go. Appreciate all y'all, man. Let's make some money tonight. Let's make some early money for the weekend. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all, man. I'll be back tomorrow, NFL show, me, Mitch, and Big Al McMorty. So, and I'll have these guys back next week for David. And then, Costi always going to be on. So
I'm always on. I'm always around. I'm always in the background somewhere.
So we'll have him on later in the week as well, man. Appreciate all y'all. We're out of here. Peace.